What's up, gamers? Welcome back to this video. 7stop here, and today we're going to be talking about the Halo Infinite beta that just ended.
Oh yeah, actually the correct term is flight.
I'm sorry, flight. Are
Get
they
it
gonna
right.
do? Are they gonna do a beta, a normal beta?
They're just calling it. They're just calling it flights. I think that's just every single time it's just going to be called.
Yeah, but I mean, like one that's public, like a typical
Open?
beta. Do you think
I
they're
don't
gonna
think
do
they're going to
that?
be doing. I don't think they're going to do an open beta. 343 doesn't do open betas with stuff.
All right.
They do flights. So anyway, we played the flight. So our journey. Let's do a recap of our Halo Infinite journey. It's been a long one, and it's been filled with ups and downs. So first, Halo Infinite is revealed at E3 2018 briefing. I remembered it
E3
because of that line.
2018 briefing.
Yeah, I remembered it because of that. But no, it's revealed then, and we're just like, oh my gosh, yes, classic art style. And then we're like, okay, gonna have to wait till next year. And the next year they release a cutscene that just kind of reveals what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Or
sort
it just
of.
kind of reveals the first part. It just kind of reveals the first part, and also again classic art style.
Yeah.
And then, all right, we're all like, okay, it's been 2 full years. This third year, we gotta get something, and then they reveal the gameplay, and we're like,
No.
oh, oh no, we got excited for a bad game. The graphics looked terrible. It looked like a very neutered Halo 5.
Yeah, it didn't look very good. But
The
then
graphics,
they delayed the game, which was really
which
good
was
of
like,
them.
okay, all right, hey, we were like, okay, I mean, hey, well, hopefully this game is salvageable and they'll make it better. So yeah,
Can
they
you
delayed
believe it's gonna be 6 years since the last Halo game when this game
6
comes out?
years. In 2000, ever since Halo CE released, there has never been a 6-year gap for a new
Yeah.
Halo game. This is the largest gap we've ever had for a new Halo game. Anyway, yeah, they delay it, which we think is good news, and then they start releasing these little like monthly like blog updates, I guess you could say. Basically these little monthly updates on various changes and improvements to the game, and then the first flight is announced.
Yo.
And we're like, oh, already, it's gonna be time. And Nico doesn't get access to the first flight.
Yeah, it didn't work.
It didn't
I
work
think that
properly.
actually I could have fixed it, but I just didn't know what I was doing. But on the second flight, I had the same issue, but I figured out a fix.
Yeah.
So maybe if I had tried that before, I would have actually been able to play. But it's really weird because any other game, you know how you can have 2 accounts logged in on Xbox and you can like switch to a different account? Well, I have 2 accounts, and the reason it wasn't working was because only one of them was authorized. But every other game, even if you only buy a game on one of your accounts, as long as you just use that account, you can get into it. But with this flight, you have to log out of all other signed-in accounts and then log into yours in order to play the authorized account. And so that's why I couldn't play.
Yeah. But we played I played the first flight. We didn't really. Did we make a video on it? I don't think we did.
I think we might have. Yeah,
Maybe.
I think we did. Because
Oh well.
we made that video
We
about
did,
how it
yes.
was the best Halo game since Halo
Yeah, we
3.
did. We did, and we were like, I praised the game, but that was only against bots. So it's just like,
Yeah.
hey, well, you know, it's a different experience. Again, you're not gonna really get
Yeah. But rest assured, this is a positive video. We're not just going to trash on the game. Of course, we're not going to talk about negatives. There's negatives, but we really enjoyed these flights. We're going to be talking about the 2 most recent flights.
Yep, I can't believe it, but I'm positivity.
Yeah.
Positivity. We actually like it. Hooray!
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been pretty skeptical, at least I have up to this point, but we're not just going to hate on it mindlessly like most of the Halo, not most, but you know, there's that portion of the Halo community that hates everything. So
Yeah, but we're here to make a positive video, and we still stand by the fact this could be the best Halo game since Halo 3.
Yeah.
This could be better than Halo Reach.
I mean, I've had the most fun playing a Halo game, or playing this game since Halo 3. Like, of the Halo games since Halo 3, this is the one I've had the most fun in.
I felt
Other
that
than MCC,
spark.
of course.
It's difficult to describe, but I felt that spark of like pure Halo for a little bit.
Yeah.
I felt that spark, mainly because of one map, but still overall I was able to sense a general like spark, and I think that is kind of mainly has to do with the fact that it's just like it's kind of taking a lot of elements from the classic Halo games.
Yeah.
Equipment, no like even starts, no boost jumps and other jumps. Sprint being absolutely way less effective than it used to be. Sprint
it feels like a classic Halo game. Sort of. It feels like a good compromise, I think.
It does. Me and Nico.
I didn't think it was possible.
Yeah, we didn't think it was. We were like, no, there's no way. We were so skeptical of that. I was like, there's no way they could please both fans, but it's looking like it is. Like the Halo community has something to finally be positive about.
I think that this game could be a really big success because it's a free-to-play game, and it could unite the Halo community. So it could get those classic fans and the new fans playing a game, and it seems like everyone's pretty positive about this game. And it's free-to-play, so it'll bring in lots of new players. And so I think that this could be a really successful game.
I do too. Now, and the key to making it successful, even though it is odd saying this, it's just true in this modern gaming age, is not more content updates. I think that's kind of necessary, at least for some people, like certain other groups, but because it's pure classic Halo, a lot of people are like, holy crap, I'm going to hop back on to Halo
When I
again.
played this game, I was like, holy crap, this feels like a game that I actually get up and I want to go keep playing this game like Halo 3.
Yeah, this is a game where it's like with Halo 5 and Halo 4. Well, not Halo 4, but still with Halo 5, I had fun with it, and I could have fun playing with it, but it still didn't really satisfy that like, oh man, I want to get on and keep playing.
Yeah,
but this did.
Yeah, and it has its issues. It's not a perfect game. It's not as good as Halo 3, but it's still a really fun game, and I really enjoyed it, and we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, so let's staying on the more general positive side. What we liked about it. One, equipment being back. Equipment is great. I love equipment. I'm glad they brought it back. It is a little bit too, I think, personal and not universal, but I'm still glad they brought it back.
It's still good though, but it doesn't really have a huge impact on the game, like the moment-to-moment gameplay. At least I think it will more when people get used to playing the game and using the equipment. But at least in the betas, it didn't really have a huge impact on the moment-to-moment gameplay.
Yeah, every once in a while you'll see someone grapple away, but usually I didn't really see too many other people using the grapple hook.
I was worried about the shield thing being kind of broken, but it was actually incredibly weak.
Yeah, it was incredibly weak. I think it actually needs a buff. Actually, I personally actually think it really could use a buff. Like, at least give it something to make it viable. But anyway,
it's kind of it's kind of like a weaker version of the Halo 3, because in Halo 3 I think they have more of an impact, but it's still not a determining factor of the gameplay, and I think it's a lot like that, but even less impact.
Yeah. So yeah, we like the equipment. Next thing, the weapons are they feel like nice Halo weapons, and the fact that the bloom and like the kind of aspects of Halo 5, bullet magnetism, a lot of other things like that have been toned down, and the weapons just kind of feel more like the classic Halo weapons, but at the same time, they each have their own like unique place in the sandbox. Like Halo 3, you have to like pretty much like rely with the assault rifle, it can kill people generally, but typically you like want to have like some other weapon to kind of clean up and stuff like that. But this, it feels like each weapon has their own unique spot.
Yeah. I think this game has some of the weakest and least versatile power weapons, which I guess could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what your opinion is. But I think that it makes you, I guess you can't get as many free kills. You have to play more carefully.
Exactly. Like with the gravity hammer, it's a really like long, slow wind up for a really powerful blast. So it makes it where it's like you actually have to be good with the gravity hammer. Whereas in like usually in Halo 3 or something like that, you grab it, there you go, free kills until it's gone.
Especially Halo 2. Halo 2 has crazy good power weapons, and it really is kind of just free kills a lot of the time.
We love Halo 2, but
yeah,
their power weapons can get a little bit crazy.
like
but yeah, moving back on
the
to
energy sword doesn't run out of charge. That's
What
just
the heck,
a little bit too much.
that's a little bit insane. They were just like, we'll just turn on bottomless clips for that one. But moving back, Bloom. It feels I'm surprised. Like, okay, let's get this out of the way. Sprint and Bloom. We don't want it in Halo Infinite. Like, if we could remove it, we could. But they're not going to, and I'm glad we found a compromise for it.
Yeah, I'd rather the Bloom is the one where I'm just like, what? Why does anyone want this? What's the point of this being in the game at all? I'm more okay with the Sprint. I think they did a good job with that, but I'd rather them just please get rid of Bloom totally. I just don't see any purpose to that.
Yeah, me too. I agree. I think just remove Bloom in general. But it still is probably some of the weakest.
It doesn't really interfere that much with the gameplay. It's not that bad, but it's still annoying.
It's still annoying, and I do wish they could remove it. But again, it doesn't interfere as much like the other Halo games. Like it's like the complete opposite of the Halo Reach assault rifle. The Halo Reach assault rifle, like you shoot it once, boom, it's just spread out. And then like in this one, it takes a while. Usually about like 20 shots in, then it starts to usually kick up. But before then, you're pretty smooth sailing.
The sniper,
what is the other
sniper? No Bloom on that, please. Why is
no Bloom on that?
This is already a hard to use sniper. We don't need Bloom.
Yeah, it's a pretty difficult sniper. I think I overestimated how difficult it was to use at first, but it still is pretty difficult to use. Now, could keep it on the positives. I do like how the weapons, like staying on the weapons and stuff like that. I like how they're a little bit more like kind of wacky and weird. Like the Halo 5, the Halo 5 had some awesome variants of weapons, but the regular weapons like the suppressor, like. Who wants to use the suppressor?
There's a lot of really boring and not very like when you pick up a lot of the guns, you don't really want to use them. You don't feel like you'll have a fun time. But Halo Infinite, the weapons all feel really fun to use, in my opinion.
And pretty cool. Like the Ravager is really neat. Like, and a lot of them have more like secondary fire type elements and stuff like that. And the BR, great BR. They nailed the BR. Such a good BR.
Yeah, BR is awesome.
They have a great BR. The commando is cool. There are a bunch of cool weapons and stuff like that. And yeah, so moving on from the weapons, we'll touch on the weapons a little bit later in the negatives. But moving on.
Wait, as we said, they achieved a pretty good balance with the weapons. Like overall, the Needler, the Needler was just a crazy power weapon in Halo 5 and in Halo 4. It was really good, but they kind of toned it down. They made it useful, but not too powerful. I thought they did a really good job with that. And a lot of the other weapons, they are the same.
Yeah.
But of course, we'll talk about, there's some weak weapons that we'll talk about.
Yeah. So moving on to another good aspect, but again, actually super quick, let's just mention art style. Good. Moving on from there. I like the art style. There's not much I could comment about.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's good, and it
looks faithful and it feels new.
It definitely helps. Like, even though we constantly say, "Oh, art style doesn't matter as much," it definitely does help in making it feel more like Halo.
Yeah.
But moving on from there, this is kind of moving on from the good to the more fine parts of it, and that's the maps. So there's one amazing map, and the others are like good. Yeah, the amazing map is Behemoth. That is the best map.
Awesome.
That is the best map since Halo 3. That map is god tier. I adore that map.
When I played Behemoth, it made me feel like I was back playing Halo 3 again. It was so much fun.
Yeah, me and him, we played together. We were like, okay, new map time. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And then we got CTF, and that was just brought me back to like Halo 3 Valhalla. Like, oh no, try and get the flag, and like
flag dropped, flag captured,
flag taken, flag dropped,
flag taken, flag dropped.
But it just brought me back to that, like scurrying around to get the flag, trying to get the power weapons on the map to try and like interfere and stuff like that. Like, I love that feeling of just like trying to get the good weapons. The vehicles are also pretty great as well.
Yeah, they're a
We'll
lot of
talk
fun, but
a lot
we'll
of
talk
fun.
about them later. Is that they might need a nerf?
Yeah, some of them. But anyway, the Behemoth, awesome map. The others they're decent enough. They definitely feel a lot more like Halo 5 maps,
Yeah. Uh,
but they feel slightly better.
yeah. Halo 5 has a lot of really tight maps with like tight corridors, not very long sight lines, and also kind of indoors or cramped as on a lot of those maps. And the rest of the maps kind of felt that way to me. And I didn't, other than Behemoth, none of the other maps was I didn't really feel like, oh yeah, I want to play this map. Whereas in Halo 3, most of the maps, when I see them come up, I want to play them. But in this game, I was just like, I want to play Behemoth.
Yeah, pretty much. And so we're hoping the other maps are more like Behemoth. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And hey, I'm sure we'll probably have a lot of other maps that are like Behemoth.
And
And
BTB, talk about the BTB map.
yeah, BTB. So yeah, again, this is the more of the fine, okay section. The BTB map itself was also like it was. I was probably better than the three other um, arena maps, but it wasn't as good as Behemoth.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. It was all right. I
It
mean,
was all.
it's not bad. I don't really feel very strongly about it one way or the other.
Yeah, I had a decent time on it, but nothing more than that.
Yeah.
It's not really one of those maps where I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna remember this map
Yeah, a
forever.
really
It's forever,
memorable
yeah.
map like the Pit in Halo 3, or in other games like Modern Warfare 2, you have Rust or State, and those kind of like really famous maps. Raid and Black Ops 2. It doesn't really stick in your memory. None of the maps do stick in your memory like those great maps, except for Behemoth.
I was gonna say, I was like, I think Behemoth will definitely go down
Yeah,
as the like the map
the
of Halo,
definitive map.
the
Yeah,
definitive map experience. And so, yeah, again, we might as well comment on BTB in general. So, our biases going into it, we've never really been huge BTB fans. It's just like, oh, let's maybe play a little BTB, and then we'll head back on to Slayer.
yeah. I like 4v4. BTB is just kind of a fun thing every once in a while, but I have played a fair amount of BTB in Halo 3, or more
Oh
like
yeah,
played a lot of Valhalla in Halo 3, because that's all
yeah.
the only map I get.
I remember I told Nico before, I was like, BTB and Halo 3, or at least on the MCC, of course. Again,
Yeah.
MCC. At least on the MCC, BTB is pretty much just Valhalla 24/7.
Yeah.
Maybe I can't believe I'm forgetting that name of that one map, but it has the two warthogs and it like the little fortresses on the each side.
Oh, a Battle Creek, or is
I
that? I
That's
know
not
which one we're talking about. It's
Yeah, throw
no
up a
Battle
picture on
Creek is a
screen.
4v4 map.
You could throw up a picture on screen.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It's in the Halo 2 remaster.
anyway, yeah. So those were our thoughts on BTB. Enjoyable, liked it, but didn't really love it, and I don't think I'll be necessarily playing it. I'll probably just default to Slayer.
Yeah.
Again, maybe throw it in to get the vehicle power trip. So speaking of that, I think we covered really mostly all the goods and the fines. Let's move on to the bad stuff that we didn't necessarily like too much. So, what's the first kind of major thing that we're like, not a huge fan
There's
of?
a lot of weak weapons, I think. I mean, the weapon that balance isn't bad, but there are some weak weapons that I think need a buff and stuff like that.
Plasma pistol,
Yeah.
give that thing a buff. You removed its EMP, and it takes one shot, like just a regular pew, takes 1%. So
Yeah.
you got 100 shots with it. That's it.
I think the charge time is much too long for the main.
Tracking isn't very good.
Yeah, tracking sucks, and that's always been a fun weapon to noob combo. And people might complain about noob combo. Just have fun, play games, guys. Just have fun with the game. I don't care if it's not competitive or something where you can remove it in the competitive playlist. But
And it was always pretty balanced still.
yeah, noob combo is like a staple to me. I really want to be
Yeah,
able to
exactly.
do that, but it's really weak in this game.
Yeah. And the shock rifle, that thing needs a buff at least.
Yeah,
It's EMPing capabilities, fine. It's like against regular players, that needs a buff. I think either
Yeah.
A, it needs to have increased fire rate, so make it a little bit more like the commando. Don't turn it into the commando, but still make it a little bit faster firing.
Yeah, it's like it's less powerful than default assault rifle, which
Exactly.
is the problem because when I pass it, I don't want to pick it up. I just leave it there.
Yeah,
So
just leave it there
it
because
needs to be better. I think
Yeah.
I think even with the EMP, it's still kind of weak because the fire rate is
Poor.
so slow, and so I think that needs to be improved.
Yeah, we think that needs to be improved. The pulse carbine. Why should I choose it over the assault rifle? We think the
Yeah,
damage is that's basically the main thing. Why should I go and pick it up?
yeah,
That's the main thing. The damage, good. If like it does quite a lot of damage, but it's just it needs to get either be like a little bit faster. No, not necessarily faster firing, but either it needs to either get better tracking, or B make it the projectiles faster.
yeah.
That's the main thing, because like the tracking up close is terrible, and at long range, it has a pretty weak long
I think
range.
that the velocity of the bullets is the best choice. Just make the bullets faster.
Make the bullets a little bit faster, because again, when I'm walking by it, I see no need to pick it up over the assault rifle or
Yeah.
sidekick. What else do we think needs a buff in terms of weapons?
You said the heat wave doesn't really need a buff. I didn't really use it enough to really say, but every time I picked it up, I died. So maybe it needs a buff. I don't know.
Yeah, it could. It could. I could see it needing a buff. I think I think it definitely has its place, but I definitely could see it needing a buff. Well, let's think of things that need to be nerfed in terms of weapons. A lot of people are saying the AR needs to be nerfed, but I kind of
I
like it being
disagree.
powerful.
I like
Yeah,
it. I don't want the pistol to be the main weapon. I know that in competitive game modes, people like having precision weapons as the main weapons, but I think that they should just have BR starts. If you need competitive, play BR starts.
yeah,
And I don't want it to be like Halo 5 and Halo CE where it's just pistol all the time.
yeah. You
And
just
pistol's
spawn
the
in
main weapon.
instant Y. Yeah, exactly.
I like the assault rifle being the main weapon, and I don't really have a problem with it remaining at its current level. But I think that other weapons, if you want me to pick other weapons up over the assault rifle, then you need to make them stronger.
Exactly. Other things that need a buff. Oh, in terms of equipment, we already mentioned the shield. Honestly, really could use a buff. I want to use
Yeah,
it, but it's just like, why should I pick it up over the grapple hook? Like, I could always
yeah,
just grab the grapple hook or the or like invisibility over
yeah,
shield or just almost any other equipment. The repulsor.
yeah. Grapple hook is pretty good, pretty fun. I really like it. The only issue with it I see is that it's a bit clunky trying to like get onto the top of some surface or something. I felt that was a little bit too like hard to control, but other than that, I thought it was pretty good. It didn't really cause many issues.
I'm glad they made it into an equipment rather than like Titanfall's 2 thing where it's mobility. It can be used
Yeah,
for mobility, but it could also be used for to hijack vehicles,
yeah.
grab
It's a
weapons, grab things like
utility.
that. Again, yeah, it's a utility like it should be. Um, I think the that one equipment, the like scan dart or whatever, it's basically a scan dart, needs buffed. Its range is absolutely terrible. Like it just like and I'm sure you like it just goes to show that like it's weak because you didn't see really anybody using it.
Yeah.
I didn't really see anybody using it,
I,
and
I
I
used it
like
once.
two
I used
times.
it
Yeah,
one time.
exactly. Um, we already kind of mentioned this bloom. Just get rid of it, even though we think it's a good compromise. I'd still rather not have it, but
Yeah.
it's kind of doubtful they'll get rid of it. But moving on from still things that need to be nerfed and or buffed, vehicles.
Yeah.
The Ghost needs a nerf, please.
I think it needs to be easier to destroy the ghost because it's way
Hmm.
too hard at present. I didn't really see that with the Warthog or other vehicles. They seemed fairly easy to destroy, fairly reasonable, but the ghost was really hard to destroy given its versatility and it's really maneuverable and stuff. So I think that it needs to be easier to destroy.
Exactly. Like there's counterparts to each side. and like the counterpart of the ghost has typically either been the mongoose or the warthog. And like the warthog needs another person to help man it,
Mm-hmm.
and um the the mongoose is just clearly like that's just a traversal thing. So
Yeah. They should have the
give
gun goose. Bring back the gun goose.
yeah, bring back the gungoose. The gungoose was fun. Come on,
Yeah.
guys. Screw you. I was like, oh, it was just it dilutes the
Oh
sandbox.
my
That's one of my
goodness.
favorite
I
terms.
can't I
I
can't
love
I
that
can't
term.
I can't have more features in my game. I can't have more things. That's not fun. I
I
need
can't have
less I need
my
less features.
I can't have my sandbox diluted, okay, guys. But no, we think that thing definitely needs a little bit of a nerf. And also for some reason I don't think the boost was necessarily working because for some reason I just always had boost.
Maybe it's
Like
supposed to be that way. I think is it Halo 2 I think has unlimited boost.
I don't know. This is the thing though, and I noticed at the bottom right or left there was a bar that showed like, okay, yeah, press this button and it boosts, and but the bar didn't ever go down, so possibly a glitch.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a
in terms
glitch
of
with
other
the
vehicles,
sniper, right?
yeah, the sniper whenever you shoot, like if you zoom in and then you have the reticle lined up, it's a red reticle, and then you zoom out and then shoot, it just won't hit him. There's like unseen boost, bloom on the sniper, pretty much.
Yeah. And then
Um,
there's
Oh,
the
Warhog turret. The turret. I think the turret needs to be a little bit different. I need to be able to see my bullets.
yeah.
Kind of difficult to see. They need to be a little bit more like lines and trails rather than just
Yeah.
little dots.
Add back tracers.
Yeah, back tracers. What else? I think the Hornet. I got to use the Hornet a little bit. I think it was far too weak for it being really good. It was just like you can't really look down
Oh,
that much.
the wasp?
Or yeah, Wasp, not the Hornet. The Wasp. The you need to like you have to be really far away from someone in order to shoot them because you can't really look straight down, which is fine. But there's bloom on the primary weapon, and the rocket's travel time and damage is way too low in my opinion. So maybe give that a little bit of a buff. But again, didn't really get to use it
Yeah.
too much. I think
And you
it's
got hijacked by
yeah.
a grappling hook.
I was about to say. I was like, I feel like the skyjacks might be a little bit too easy. I think hijacking regular vehicles is pretty difficult because they're so zoomy and stuff like that, and it helps balance it out. But I think skyjacks are a little bit too easy. Like maybe make it so there's like a specific part that you have to hit. Like you can't just hit the wing and there you go. Like you have to hit the cockpit itself.
Yeah.
Something like that. What else can we think of in terms of other like little things like vehicles? Kind of covered that.
Mm, what do we have left? I mean, we could talk about miscellaneous glitches. There's some glitches here and there, some crashes, all that awesome stuff.
Yeah, I experienced crashes. There were times where I couldn't get into like matches. It was loading map 0%. Some the your settings in terms of audio settings, game audio, game chat, always constantly reset.
Yeah, there was a setting to turn off sprint lines, but when you turned it off, it didn't actually turn off. That was weird.
Yeah, that's kind of odd. There's a lot of other various kind of odd miscellaneous kind of like
Bugs.
bugs and also things that could be improved, quality of life things I should say that can be improved. I'm trying to think.
Optimization, how was it on PC?
On PC, it was definitely not that great. I was a little bit concerned just because I was like, man, it's that unoptimized. It was pretty. The frame rate was all over the place. It wasn't bad, but it was still like constantly. It was just all over the place, so pretty broken at times and other things like that. So I definitely could use for a little bit better optimization, and they did actually help because I know the first flight in between the first weekend and the second weekend they added an update, and that certainly helped. But
All right, that's good.
sounds like on console it was awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not like I don't think it ran at a full 60 FPS, but it was a lot better than I was expecting just from playing other recent games on Xbox. I'm on a base Xbox One, and playing other games on base Xbox One these days, newer games, it sucks. It's awful. Most of them don't run very well and have constant frame drops or terrible graphical downgrades. And so, playing this game, I was really surprised to see that it ran at like 45 to 60 FPS for me. And
Yeah.
this is at 120 FOV.
Yeah, which is also pretty. Yeah, I'm surprised. Sounds like they got those Battlefield 1 console optimization members coming to help a little bit
Yeah,
of that out.
it was surprisingly good. The
Yeah.
sensitivity, I'll talk about this. The aim,
Oh yeah,
the way
aim.
it
I was going to
felt,
say aim.
it was not the greatest in my opinion. It just didn't feel right, especially at default settings. I tinkered with it, and eventually I got it to feel a little bit better with like 5 acceleration and then a lower main sensitivity. But they should just have a setting, and it just says like MCC or Halo 3 or something like that. And I just click this setting, and it makes my game feel as close to MCC as humanly possible, because that's what I'm used to playing with, and that's what I like. That's the inputs I like, and I just want to be able to play a game and not worry about it feeling like crap.
Yeah. On
And tinkering with
PC,
60 little settings, and it's just really annoying.
yeah, I've recently transferred over to keyboard and mouse for Halo and stuff like that, just because PC masteries. But actually, though, because I got MCC on PC, so I kind of wanted to use more keyboard and mouse. So keyboard and mouse felt fine for me. It just felt like a regular FPS, so can't really comment too much on control.
All right.
Certainly, keyboard and mouse it felt like regular keyboard and mouse.
All right.
So, anything else that we need to mention? I can't think of anything.
In the first beta, it for some reason it ran, or the first flight. I'm sorry, flight. In the first
Flight.
in the first flight, it ran pretty well, and then in the second flight, it had more issues, like more frame drops and more kind of random glitches and that kind of stuff. So, that's kind of an issue, but I have a feeling that it's gonna be running pretty well when it comes out, and that this stuff isn't gonna be there.
Yep. So I think we can wrap up this video here. In overall, we're excited. We're confident. We're happy. I'm a happy Halo fan, which I'm glad
happy
to
Halo
finally
fan. Never met one of those.
Never met one of those. Nope. But I'm a happy Halo fan today, and I'm excited. There's still a few negatives. So again, it's like the reason it's good. It could be the best game since Halo 3, best Halo game since Halo 3, but I don't think it will be the better than Halo 3.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen the term thrown out there from quite a lot of people. This could be the greatest Halo game of all time. But I think just the fact that Sprint and Bloom are in it, for me, just kind of instantly just kind of disqualifies it for me. But I could still see it being really good.
Even then, I don't know if it's going to be as fun as those games, but it's still great. It's still
excited.
A lot of fun, and it's been a long time since I was this optimistic about Halo.
Yep, and I'm excited about it. So if you like the video, like, subscribe. The Battlefield beta is coming out as of today, which is the 4th. It's going to be coming out on Wednesday the 6th. So we'll definitely play that a little bit this weekend, and we'll make
a video.
Make a video on that. So yeah, if you like our other content, like, subscribe, give us ideas in the comments below, and yeah.
Bye. See ya.
Yeah, guys. Thank you.